To get my age, you have to have notes. Obviously, just like all the other inductees, I want to thank you. Oh, what happened? I didn't do anything. Do you know how to turn this back on? That doesn't go against my time, does it? I got a few things to say that have to be really quick because I have a couple of guys and areas I want to cover. I thank all of you, every single person in this room, especially Mr. LaRue, for all your kindness and understanding. And why I'm up here, I have no idea, but here I am. And I especially want to thank Steve and Paul O'Donoghue for driving up to say that. I'm going to say a few words about some good old friends of mine. That's Munson, Mercer, and Guidry. Had them back in the 70s, a little bit in the 80s, whatever you want to call it. We had some time. They were associates. At the end of this little presentation, I'll tell you they're my friends, or they're my friends posthumously, but they're my friends. And they're my friends now. Old-timers, they ceased to that, especially with Mr. Guidry. Those guys were special to me, and I didn't know it at the time, but I learned. I learned and learned and learned every single day of my life with the New York Yankees since I started when I was 18. I remember being in Binghamton, New York, right over here, in Double-A ball in 1967, I believe it was, that Thurman had signed. They told me Mr. Munson's coming in to join our team for a while. I thought, okay, great. I was sweeping out the clubhouse. It was an old shack, wooden shack. Had the laundry hanging outside, and I'm sweeping it out, getting ready for the day. It's about 1 o'clock. He pulls up in his brand new signing bonus Corvette. He gets out, walks in the door, and I go, this can't be our catcher, but it is. He says, hi, I'm Thurman Munson. And I said, hi, I'm Gino. I'm the trainer here, and it's good to meet you. He said, well, let me repeat. My name's Thurman Munson, and I'm not going to be here very long. I said, okay, buddy. We ended up catching up with each other in New York, obviously. And over the years and other times we became pretty close. He was a catcher. Someone told me tonight he'd never been on the disabled list. I find that incredible. But I guess it's true. Toughest guy in the world, sweetest guy in the world. Not a real good guy to get along with if you got on his wrong side. But boy, was he a leader. That's why the boss picked him to be a leader. He used to fly home all the time. Come back the next day. He'd be tired. He'd grab a bag of chocolate chip cookies and a quart of milk and go in the sauna. 9 o'clock in the morning. He said, Gino, come on in, let's talk this over. I'd go in there in my trainer's outfit. He's got the sauna on. It's 110 degrees and we're drinking cold milk and eating cookies. But that awful moment, 1979, broke our hearts. You still do. I still well up. Surprised I'm not right now. But when I think about him and guys like Bobby Mercer, my heart sinks because they were leaders, they were great men, they were great family men, they were wonderful people, and they became part of our family beyond question. Mercer was supposed to be Mickey Mantle's replacement. Boy, was he ever. He came to Fort Lauderdale when I was like what they call an intern now, because I lived there. And he'd come in and sit down. I go, is that another bat boy over there? He goes, no, that's Bobby Mercer. I go, oh my goodness, okay. Well, I was too scared and young to say anything to anybody at that time. But boy, he became very, very friendly and very, very close. And he studied Mickey and he followed him around like a little puppy dog. And boy, he learned a lot. But boy, he wasn't a little guy when he put that bat on and those gloves on and went out to home plate. The head trainer at the time, Joe Soares, taught me how to go to Woolworths. For 29 cents, you had to buy the right thickness of makeup pads, little round red makeup pads, 29 cents a piece. That's a lot of money back then. But I'd have to go buy those little red pads, fold them in half and cut them and put them on the end of his, or the handle of his bat for his left hand, because he had a bone bruise back in there. And that bone bruise got better in a few weeks, but it became part of the bat for him. It became a signature. And he'd always come to me. He'd call me in the middle of the night. Make sure you got 2 more for tomorrow. You're the only guy that can make these things. I said, anybody can do this. No. Superstitious. That was Bobby Mercer. What a wonderful guy. Towards the end of his career, when he got a little older, he thought, Mercer family knows this. Put a rocking chair in his locker. We had stools back then. He had a rocking chair. And boy, we used to go by that rocking chair and sit down and just have a reason to sit down and listen to some of the stories and ideas that he had about the game. Not only the game, but about Oklahoma, about family, about everything that really mattered. And Guidry, Ron Guidry, Gator, one of the greatest friends of all time right now for me. Because when we go to spring training, we're still invited. They still let us old guys come down there and kind of show off in a stupid way. We try to help the younger guys as best we can. We embrace each other. He's a true Yankee through and through all the way. Gator, forget about it. His arms aren't bigger than mine, and mine are little. I asked many doctors and PTs and physical therapists and experts and by the way, how come the Mets are over here and the Yankees are over here? It's dawned on me. But anyway, and they finally told me, because he could recruit. He would have that perfect wind up and push off with his big toe, land on that right foot, and recruit muscle strength that you couldn't believe and unimaginable. Just a wonderful guy. I've got wonderful stories about all these guys. My best story of all, which I don't have time to say right now because, Ray, I don't want to take all your minutes. Oh, and by the way, when I said everybody in this room, welcome and thank you for showing up and being here, I meant everybody, except for Ray. We had a playoff game in '78 that Ron had to pitch. It's a long story. It's kind of long, so I can't take up any more minutes, but it's a good story. If you want to talk to me later about it, I'll be happy to talk to you. It's a great story, and Gator was awesome. The boss was awesome. The team was awesome. Bucky Dent was awesome. Reggie Jackson was awesome. Everybody was awesome. What an awesome flight home, or wherever the hell we went. So now I'll tell you, my associates are now my friends. They couldn't be your friends when you're an athletic trainer. They can't be your friends. They're your associates. They're kind of like part of you. They're part of your extended family. They're not your family. They're part of your extended family. But now they're my friends. And like I said before, even though they're not here, they're my friends. I had a second family with the Yankees, and I still do. They're still kind enough to invite me personally back. I don't have any idea why, because I'm not worth a dog bone in spring training, but I like to go. I like to spend time with Steve Donahue and work with his staff and find out what's new in this world, because I have a little part-time job in racing right now, and I enjoy it, and I use old school stuff, but they like it. They don't know any different. Derek Jeter used to always say, be humble, stay humble, always be humble. Every once in a while, our AAA team comes into Charlotte down by where I live, and they'll come by, and the younger players, I'll tell them, Gleyber Torres is one. Hey, buddy, stay humble. Please stay humble. Remember to stay humble. So now when I see him in spring training or in June, when we have Old Timers Day, and thank God this Yankee family still does that, one of the only teams that ever does, I will say, hey, how you doing? And he goes, hey, stay humble, man. You're right. So I want to thank everyone that came here today. And in closing, I used to listen to radio and TV now and then, not near as much as I do now because I'm sort of retired. So now I put it on my car. I drive to work 3 days a week. And I listen to all the sports talk and listen to all the garbage they talk about, which is really good. I really like this guy, Stephen A. Smith, ESPN. He's rowdy and he's crazy and he goes nuts. And I love it. I just love listening to his passion because it pumps me up. He's on every day at 1 o'clock when I'm coming home, and I put it on there, and I really enjoy it. And on the other channel is Rush Limbaugh. I can't take too much of that. So I listened to Stephen A. Smith, and he said something to me the other day that about a month ago that meant the world to me. And I want to share with all you people that love this game of baseball, and all my friends here, including you too, Goose, didn't mean to leave you out. Stephen A., I met him once at a playoff. He wasn't arrogant, he wasn't loud, he wasn't boisterous. He was the kindest, most sweetest, gentlest guy and ever. He was wonderful. Sort of like Mr. Costas. Exactly the same. He said something very important when he was talking about players, and he has the right to do that because he's a media guy. When you represent a brand, And what we do, still do, and I'm still a very small part of in New York City with the New York Yankees, we're a brand. Our game is a brand. That's two big important brands. I'm going to tell you something very important that he said on the radio the other day. When you represent a brand, whatever it is, your behavior matters to everyone. Your character matters to everyone. And your trust matters. Without trust, you have no shot or no chance. I thought I was done. I had one more thing to say. I always do this. I always talk about music. Tim McGraw did a song 2 years ago. Be humble and kind. I thought that's a nice song. That's a good song. Till I heard the very last line of the song. And it means more to me than anything else in the world that I can tell young people. Especially young people that want to be people like Steve Donahue and myself. And that is this. This is the last line of the song. Remember, when you get where you're going, don't forget to turn around and help the next one in line. Thank y'all.